So in the early spring of this year, I walked out to this greenhouse that we completed in late September of last year, and I saw the plastic covering half ripped off, flapping in the wind like an American flag on a windy day. And my immediate reaction was actually laughter. I laughed. 5 years ago, if I would have seen that, my immediate reaction would have definitely been despair, stress. I might have cried a little bit, but this time I laughed. And it was in that moment that I realized that starting a farm over the past 5.5 years has changed me in more ways than I could possibly have expected when I first started. I'm Zach Buchel. I'm a year-round veggie farmer in Cody, Wyoming. And this video is not about making money from your farm. I've got a lot of those already on my channel. This video is about the 5 ways farming can change you as a human being and how it's changed me. And I genuinely believe this is a lot more valuable than any yield number or profit margin that I've ever shared on this channel. So let's get into it. So the first way farming has changed me is definitely something I never would have expected. And that's my ability to surrender to things that are outside of my control. And so I'm a pretty type A person by nature. I do like to have a plan. I like to follow the plan and execute it to the best of my ability. And I like to get results that are according to that plan. Farming doesn't work like that at all. You have to have a plan, but you have to be flexible too. You can't stick to the plan 100% and expect it to work exactly how you had it in your mind. So a perfect example of this is the greenhouse that we're sitting in right now. So I built this thing to be as windproof as possible. There's all sorts of fancy trusses and metal that keeps the structure rigid. But at the end of the day, I can't control the wind. So all I can do is build the best structure I possibly can and protect the plastic as best I can from the wind. And a big mistake that I made was I did not put extra strapping in between each arch to keep the plastic from flying off in extremely high wind. So I vented that day for west wind, where I keep one side closed, that side would be closed, and then this roll-up side would be open to vent it. And what happened was the wind shifted, came from the north, blew the entire backside of the greenhouse plastic open like a balloon that popped and just started flapping. And the reason I laughed instead of had the immediate feeling of despair is because I have gone through so many experiences like that on the farm where my plan doesn't work out and I more or less just get humbled by the process of farming. And I immediately started to think of the silver lining of this situation. It was late March, early April, which means if this plastic had blown off in December, I would have been way worse off because I had thousands of dollars of winter crops in here in December that would have never had a chance to grow to maturity all the way through the winter and make my farm money. So this could have been so much worse if it happened in December. And the fact that it was happening in the early spring meant I just had 2 months left to keep the crops in here protected until early June, basically, when our growing season starts, where I don't even need the plastic at all, which is where we're at right now. Because I don't really need greenhouse plastic May 21st through September 21st very much. Like, the crops will grow relatively okay. So it was just the experience of going through so many other setbacks in the past that kind of helped me shift my mindset into, here's the silver lining here. This is a situation that's actually not the end of the world. It really only cost me a couple $100 in greenhouse plastic and coordinating 8 people to come and help me replace it and then put the straps on the right way. So it's really not the end of the world. But like 5 years ago, I would have thought it was the end of the world. And the only way I would have gotten there mentally is just by going through so many hardships like this. So at the end of the day, as a farmer, all I can do is create the best possible environment for plants to grow. But the actual growing of the plants is not something that I can really control. I can just create the best environment. There's so many other things outside of my control that I have to surrender to. Like this entire bed of radishes I planted with the intentions of turning into radishes, but instead they bolted. And it's because the water's not getting to them the right way, and I'm not gonna get a crop from this. Not a big deal. This stuff happens all the time with farming. So learning to surrender is just such a massive skill that applies to a lot of other aspects in life that I never would have learned if I had not gotten into farming and done something else. So the second way farming's changed me is my humility has gone through the roof since I started. When I first started, I was super arrogant about this whole space. I had worked with some other farms in the area, and I had a really strong opinion about how inefficient their operation was, and I just thought they didn't know what they were doing. But I had zero experience. I had no idea what I was talking about at the time. And now that I've started my own farm, I have gone through so many setbacks. I've killed so many tomatoes. I've had terrible germination. I've had weed jungles like what you see right here all over the place, and no matter what I do, the weeds still come. That entire experience has humbled me in ways that I never would have seen or experienced without starting this farm. So now, whenever I look at any farmer, not just market farmers, but farmers that are doing tractor farming on a very different scale and context than me, I have so much more empathy for them now than I did when I first started. You know, even farmers that are using chemicals, I don't judge them anymore, where I used to judge, because I thought this was like the best way to do it, and I genuinely thought I would be at the level of guys like, you know, Curtis Stone, J.M. Fortier, and you know, Never Sink Farm. Those guys, I thought I'd be there in like 2 years, but that's completely unrealistic. I've learned. Now I relate to farmers completely differently than I did before, and I enter new endeavors in life with a lot more humility than I did before starting. So I just expect that I'm going to be terrible at something that I try when I'm new at it, because I've gone through this whole experience and I've been humbled so many times. And I think having a great sense of humility is really important to be successful at just about anything in life. Because if you go into learning some new skill or trying to achieve something with arrogance and assuming that you just know everything off the top, like from day one, you're probably going to fail a lot more than you need to. So being humble is going to get you to where you want to go a lot faster. So now whenever I try something new, I'm a lot more humble than I used to be. So if you're watching this and anything on your own farm or garden has humbled you, comment below and share it. I'd really like to hear what it is. The next way I've changed is how all of the sacrifice, blood, sweat, and tears that's gone into this has made me appreciate the wins 10 times more than if I had never gone through this at all, and it all came easily. The first 5 years of building this farm, I gave up a lot of social freedom that people my age had. I literally lived with my family up until last year to be able to reinvest 100% of the profits from this farm into scaling it, so I didn't have to spend on rent and stuff like that. And to be clear, I'm so grateful and privileged to have been able to live with my family and not pay rent and use my family's land. I didn't have to buy this land. I was able to just basically inherit it because it was just pasture land on my family's property. So I'm extremely grateful for that. But it still took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and saying no to things for 5 years to get to the point where this farm is actually a decent business, and it still has a long way to go. So here's what I mean on a really practical level. So every time now that I get a perfectly germinated bed of carrots, I am overwhelmed with gratitude because I have screwed that up so many times before. And if you've ever grown carrots before, you know that they're not the easiest thing to germinate. And when you get perfect germination, your yields are really, really good. Another example is every time I harvest anywhere from 20 to 100 pounds of tomatoes, I'm super grateful because I have had years where half my crop is wiped out by some soil-borne disease or something like that. Or even looking at a really relatively weed-free bed of onions like this one, I'm very grateful for because I didn't have to do this all myself this time, where years past, I would be working on Saturday or Sunday to actually clear these beds of weeds by hand because it's kind of the only way to do it at this stage in the game. And if I didn't do that, I wouldn't get any onions. So those little things over time, you're going to appreciate as you go through the journey of some of the struggles that every single farmer on earth is going to go through. And it helps you appreciate a lot of other things in life too, when you have gone through something that did not come easily. And starting a farm is never gonna come easily. So this struggle that I'm talking about has helped me appreciate everything that is going right on this farm 10 times more than if I had never gone through it. And it has absolutely been a gift that I would not take back for anything. I don't regret any of the struggle that I've gone through because of the way that I feel now about when things go right. So farming has also completely changed my view of what community is. I grew up in the Chicago area, in the suburbs, where community is sort of loosely defined. A lot of people don't really know their neighbors. You know, it's kind of just revolves around, you know, who you meet at school and stuff like that. And farming is not like that, and definitely where I live in Cody, Wyoming is not like that, because this is a small town. So it's a much different environment than where I grew up. And as you're building your farm, there are so many jobs that you absolutely cannot do by yourself. So you have to start building relationships with people in your community to help you do stuff. You know, for example, when I built my walk-in cooler, I didn't do that by myself. I had to have a buddy of mine help me. And so it's really important to take relationships really seriously, especially if you're growing and selling in a small town. But not only that, you need relationships to help you do stuff all on the farm. Because if you're going to pay professionals to do absolutely everything, it's going to be really hard to stay in business at the beginning. So you can save a lot of money by having friends help you do stuff. And even the people you do pay that are professionals, you're probably going to be building a relationship with them because you're probably going to need them to help you with other things in the future. So building relationships in a small town and in farming in general is really important, because you're not going to be able to do everything yourself. It's just not possible to run a farm completely by yourself. So you have to think about community from day one. And I didn't necessarily formally plan that all out. Like, I'll be honest, community was not exactly the reason I started farming. I started farming because I love doing it, really. And so it sort of just happened organically from the need to talk to people and have them help me build stuff. That also translates into your customers too, like especially if you're selling in a small town. Every single person that comes to your booth is a real human being that you need to build a relationship with to make your business healthy. But it also makes the community healthy. Like, the more that you try and make your community healthy with your business, the more your business is going to thrive. So it's so much more than just the money aspect of it. You need to be like, actually care about the community that you live in as much as you possibly can. And I'm not perfect with this. You know, I still forget people's names that come to my booth, but I do make a concerted effort to do my best and try and remember people's names and build a relationship with them. So they not only support my business, but I am enriching their life by getting to know them and not just seeing them as a number on a spreadsheet. And the last way is my family relationship has dramatically become closer since starting the farm. And that's fairly easy when you live at home and you're talking about all your farm problems to your family all the time. But I would say that all of my immediate family I have grown closer with just by starting this farm and basically having them involved in the entire process. You know, they weren't necessarily swinging hammers with me, but like they helped me with, you know, coming up with ideas to make this thing work. You're just going to become a more community-minded person after you start this, whether you like it or not. And the last way farming has changed me, and it's probably the most important and the most transferable to everything else in life, is I learned the skill of patience. When I first started farming, I was eager and excited and arrogant, and I thought I was gonna be at the level of some of the best guys in the world in just 2 years. But being wrong again and again and again during that time period and learning that that is completely unrealistic has taught me to build a relationship with time. And I never would have learned that if things had come easily and I got the results that you see behind me in 2 years. You know, the vision of what you see behind me was in my head all the way back in 2019. And it's 2026 now. But it's taken me almost 7 years to get to this point of really hard blood, sweat, and tears. So I've learned through lots and lots of failure and lots of patience that good things happen with persistent action over a long period of time. And an example of this in my life right now is I'm trying to get into a lot better shape, build a lot more muscle, and become leaner. And everything that I've researched says it's going to take at least 3 to 6 months. And the way that people talk about it is like, you need to be really understanding it's going to take you a long time. And to me, it's not a big deal. Like 3 to 6 months is nothing to me because I'm constantly waiting 6, 12 months, 2 years, 3 years to see the results of what I have in my head. So I have learned that patience really is a virtue. I know that's a cliche thing to say, but it is a really valuable lesson to learn in life, and just be patient for achieving the things that you want. If you have the ability to work towards a goal that you can't immediately see results for, you can achieve almost anything in life. You know, we're surrounded by instant gratification in this day and age. And as a millennial, I am definitely surrounded by it. And I still have moments where I get irritated when certain results don't happen right away, especially on a computer screen. But in farming, you have no choice but to wait. In farming, I am constantly surrounded by examples of the opposite of instant gratification. Like these onions take 100 to 120 days to mature after I plant them, or my tomatoes take 90 days after transplanting to actually get into full production. So you're constantly surrounded by the opposite of instant gratification with farming, and you have to learn patience to get the real results. And that is such a valuable skill to transfer into all other aspects of your life. So I'm so grateful that things did not come easily for me with this farm, because I know it is preparing me for any other transformation that I want to achieve in my life now. I know it's going to take time and blood, sweat, and tears to achieve, and I'm ready for it now. Whereas 5, 6 years ago, I was still eager, arrogant, young, and I didn't understand this at all. So there you have it. Those are the 5 ways that farming has changed me. Surrender, humility, appreciation, community, and patience. Those are all qualities that have improved within me just by building this farm. And honestly, I think they're worth a lot more than the money that this farm has earned me, because I can now use all of those skills into any other new endeavor that I want to take on in life. So if you're new to farming or you're already farming, hopefully you got some value out of this and you can relate to it in some way, shape, or form. If you did, I would love it if you could hit that subscribe button over here, because I do post new videos every week about making money from your land and all of the other improvements to your life that happen from starting a farm. And if you're really serious about starting a farm and you want to try and avoid some of the blood, sweat, and tears that I'm talking about in this video, my Backyard Farming 101 mentoring program is the best way to do that, because I actually will help you on a weekly basis on consulting calls to build your own personal backyard veggie farm. And the program includes everything you need to know from seed to sale to actually start a farm like this, from succession crop planning, plant propagation, greenhouse growing, sales and marketing, winter growing. It's all included in the program, and it's gonna help streamline the process of you building your own personal backyard veggie farm. So if that sounds interesting to you, book a call with me at the link in the description below. I would love to chat with you about your current situation and what your long-term goals are. Worst case scenario is we have a really nice conversation, and I send you on your way with some free resources that'll benefit you at whatever stage in the journey that you're at. And if you want to go down the rabbit hole of backyard farming, watch this playlist, because it's a bird's eye view of a lot of the things you're going to need to think about and plan out when you want to start your own farm. So if you want to dive deeper in this whole subject, click here and I'll see you on the other side.